Solving equations by adding or subtracting decimals. How can you make time fly? Throw a clock out the window. Today's lesson, solving equations by adding and subtracting decimals. We're going to be solving one-step decimal equations involving addition or subtraction. The Indiana academic standards that we're going to be looking at today include 7.3.1, use variables and appropriate operations to write an expression, a formula, an equation, or an inequality that requires a verbal description. 7.3.2, which states write and solve two-step linear equations and inequalities in one variable and check the answers. And standard 8.3.1, write and solve linear equations and inequalities in one variable, interpret the solution or solutions in their context, and verify the reasonableness of the results. Example number 1, subtracting to solve an equation. We're going to solve 6 8/10 plus p equals negative 9 7/10. We're going to write the equation down below all of this work because we're going to show our work a little bit differently. So we have 6.8 plus p equals negative 9.7. We have to get p by itself. We're always trying to get the variable by itself. So we're going to subtract 6.8 from both sides of the equation. On the left-hand side, the 6.8's cancel each other out. On the right-hand side, we have negative 9.7 minus 6.8. The left-hand side will be p, and negative 9.7 minus 6.8 is negative 16.5. Don't forget, you're allowed to use a calculator on these problems. That will save you a lot of computation time. Pause the video at this time if you need more time to copy down this example. Don't forget, you need to have a question in your notes. Some of you have not been doing this. You need to make sure you write a question down in your notes to ask in class tomorrow. For example number 2, we have another problem. We're going to be solving a one-step equation by subtracting. Ping has a board that is 14.5 feet long. She saws a piece that is 8.75 feet long. Find the length left over. So we're trying to find the x length. So if we take the unknown length of x plus 8.75, that's going to equal the total length of 14.5. So that's our equation. X plus 8.75 equals 14.5. To solve for x, we're going to subtract 8.75 from both sides of the equation. On the left-hand side, the 8.75's cancel each other out. You're left with x. On the right-hand side, we have 14.5 minus 8.75, which is 6. So the length of the piece that is left is 6 feet. Pause the video at this time if you need more time to copy down this example. Try 1A and B on your own. Be sure that you write the equation, show your step underneath it, be sure to include the subtraction sign in front of both the numbers in the second line, and then write your final answer. Show your work, show your steps. You may use a calculator. When you're done doing your work, then start the video. Make sure you've done all the steps though. For 1A, you're going to subtract 4.9 from both sides of the equation. So you end up with x equaling 13.9. Make sure you have the subtraction signs in front of the 4.9s. For 1B, you're going to actually subtract negative 24.23 from both sides. So on the left-hand side, 14.74 minus negative 24.23 is like adding 24.23. So it's 38.97. The right-hand side, the negative 24.23 minus negative 24.23 cancels each other out. You're left with just B. Now try quick check number 2 on your own. A store's cost plus markup is the price you pay for an item. Suppose a pair of shoes costs a store $35.48. You pay $70. Write and solve an equation to find the store's markup. For this, you have to start by writing an equation. You have to ask yourself, what am I trying to find? I'm trying to find the store's markup. The markup is going to be have to be the variable. So I'm going to start mine with a variable of m. You may have used a different variable, and that's fine. So the store's cost plus the markup is the price you pay. Well, the store's cost is $35.48. Plus means we're going to add. The markup is what we don't know, so that's our variable m. Is the price is going to equal 70. So we have 35.48 plus m equals $70. To solve this equation, we're going to subtract 35.48 from both sides of the equation. On the left-hand side, they cancel each other out. On the right-hand side, you have 70 minus 35.48, which is 34.52. So to answer the question, what is the store's markup? The store's markup is $34.52. Pause the video at this time if you need more time to copy down this example. Don't forget, you need to have a question in your notes. Some of you have not been doing this. You need to make sure you write a question down in your notes to ask in class tomorrow. For example 3, we're going to be adding to solve an equation. Solve negative 23.34 equals q minus 16.99. Start by writing the equation in an area where you have room to work. So negative 23.34 equals q minus 16.99. We're trying to get q by itself. So we're going to add 16.99 to both sides of the equation. On the left-hand side, we have negative 23.34 plus 16.99, which equals negative 6.35. On the right-hand side, the 16.99s cancel each other out, and you're left with q. Don't forget, you can always check every algebra problem by substituting the answer back in the original problem. Pause the video at this time if you need more time to copy down this example. For example number 4, we're adding to solve an equation. Alejandro wrote a check for $49.98. His new account balance is $169.45. What was his previous balance? We can write this equation in word form. We have his previous balance minus the check is his new balance. We're going to let P equal his previous balance. So P minus the cost of the check, which is $49.98, is equal. The new balance is $169.45. That's the equation we're going to solve. We'll rewrite it down below so that we have room to show our work. We're going to start by adding $49.98 to both sides of the equation. On the left-hand side, the 49.98s cancel each other out. On the right-hand side, you have 169.45 plus 49.98, which is 219.43. So Alejandro's previous balance was $219.43. Pause the video at this time if you need more time to copy down this example. Try solving 3A and 3B on your own. Pause the video, be sure to show all of your steps. You may use a calculator to help you do the computation. When you're finished working them out, turn the video back on and check your work. For 3A, you had to add 5.85 to both sides of the equation, so n equals 21.10. For B, you had to add 2.6 to both sides of the equation, so negative 7.4 equals C. Try example number 4 on your own. Read the story problem. I would suggest writing a word equation first, deciding on a variable, defining it, and then writing your algebra equation and solving it. That's what I'll be doing. So pause the video, try it, then check your work. The word equation would be the original amount of money minus the cost of the shirt equals how much you now have. We're going to let M be the original amount of money you had. So M minus 12.48 equals 14.95. Then you need to add 12.48 to both sides of the equation. On the left-hand side, you're left with M. On the right-hand side, 14.95 plus 12.48 equals 27.43. So you originally had $27.43. Pause the video at this time if you need more time to copy down this example. Don't forget, you need to have a question in your notes. Some of you have not been doing this. You need to make sure you write a question down in your notes to ask in class tomorrow.